Seems to be stable.
She needs a doctor, and she said she's headed to Thieves. If you're up for it, Nate.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. Is it not lagging for you? The lag is slowly returning. Yeah. Not as bad. Are the frames just choppy? Is that the issue? Can you hear me clearly? Last time I moved, the worse it gets. I mean, the frames are where they. Or I'm sorry, the bit rate is where it should be. But the frames are just dropping out of the goddamn sky. I don't know why, dude. Howdy.
My friend.
How's it going?
I need whiskey. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for later.
So,
How are you?
I'm. I'm. I'm existing.
Existing.
You sound like it. Yeah, you don't look too well, buddy.
I feel fantastic.
I just see the pain in your eyes.
Yeah, that too. It's it's not great.
It's alright, nothing a few more whiskeys can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is yours meeting. Don't let me into,
So what can I do for you?
I don't know if tonight is maybe a good time. I had a couple of questions.
Ask away.
You spent a lot of time in Van Horn. How long were you there?
I've been there 6 months or so now.
6 months. Or are you there whenever Wallaby was actually alive and still running the place?
For a short bit, yeah. Probably a few weeks, maybe.
What kind of relationship did you have with him?
Um, I wouldn't even call it a relationship. If he asked me to do something, I would oblige, or if they needed help, I was there, but we never sat down and had a conversation.
What about a woman by the name of Riley?
Riley? Yeah, I know Riley. She came back to Van Horn, well, about a month ago now. And then I come to find out she's riding with these goddamn ranchers.
Whenever you were in Van Horn, whenever Wallaby was there, and the time that you did spend there, who would you say that you knew the best?
That I knew the best?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you mean just in Dead End Gang, probably Zip. But besides him, Archie.
Zip, Archie. I'm looking for somebody very specific. I talked to Zip about this not very long ago. That's the same conversation that I actually had with Riley as well.
Well, who are you looking for?
Matt. Did you know him? Did you know Matt?
Yeah, actually, me and Matt got pretty close while everyone was in prison. And then one day, well, Dakota took him into the rug store. Last I heard, he was in Siska in a coma.
Last you heard, he was in a coma.
Yeah, that's the last I heard. Unless you know otherwise.
No, I don't. I had a conversation with him in Thieves' Landing. It was not the end of that conversation. At least, for me, it wasn't. I've been trying to figure out where the hell he's been since.
Yeah. I haven't heard from him. Been hoping he'd kind of just show up one day, but he hasn't. But I'll be honest with you, it's not looking good because this has been a few months since this happened. But this was before I was brought into the fold and Dakota was running things. So what happened, I can't really speak on.
Yeah. He shows back up and you hear about it. Could you let me know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd appreciate it. I really would.
If if I find out, otherwise, I can also let you know.
It's also something I would really like to know. Otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, just from what I knew as I guess an outside view at this point in time, there was a lot of, I guess, mistrust towards Matt from Dakota's end. Me and Matt kept things going in Van Horn while they were all locked up for a long fucking time.
See, I heard all around it was a lot of secrets, no matter where it was.
It was. There was a lot of fucking secrets, fucking going behind backs, shit like that. But we're we're doing things differently in Van Horn nowadays.
It's good to hear. Good riddance.
Being more upfront with folks, letting them know, what we're doing, why we're doing it, not just them waking up and, we change the fucking locks on the door, so to speak. Pete doesn't want to, he doesn't want to be like Wallaby, and he doesn't want to be expected to run things like Wallaby did.
No, nobody fucking should. Yes, that's all I really wanted to know. I'd heard from him, Matt, at some point, and then he disappeared, and I never heard from him or seen him, and I had no idea what the hell happened.
It had completely slipped my mind that you guys had history until
Hey,
just now when I got here and you mentioned his
he,
name.
He was one of the first people that I knew. Yes.
Hmm. You know, I do know this. Whatever happened down there, I know Pete was against it and tried to stop it. In the roadster, I mean. That's what he told me. And all this stemmed from Mac trying to do something to keep bullets from flying or a war waging. And that was reaching out to Mills on, so I wouldn't say behalf of Zip, but just to see what Mills' issue was with Zip at the time. And Zip got all upset about it. And when they got out of Siska, you could just feel the tension.
So this was between Matt and Zip. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I think from what I understand, there was a whole lot of underlying trust issues beforehand that Matt had created. I guess he had done some things that the others in the group didn't necessarily like or agree with. And I think whatever he did trying to mend things between Mills and Zip so DG didn't have problems, I guess was the icing on the cake, so to speak, for Dakota anyway. I don't I don't really understand why it happened, because very shortly after, Dakota ends up quote unquote retiring, stepping down, leaving Van Horn. Next thing she's out fucking west riding with Sunshine and all them.
You can't say that that's a retirement, can you?
No, not at all.
I was trying to figure out what the fuck happened. It's good to know.
Trust me, I like you. Would love to see him show back up one day. Matt loved Van Horn. He should still be there.
I'm showing up in bed.
Shit.
You think that's the place that he'd come back to?
Honestly, after what happened, no. and I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, well, thank you for shedding a little bit of light on that.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said thank you for shedding a little bit of light on that because I had no idea that any of that happened. I had absolutely no idea. The last thing that I knew was that that's exactly who he was with. And then somebody tells me that they stopped seeing him, and I have no idea why.
And that's the only reason I know that the last place he was seen was in Acoma and Cisco's, because that's where Mac saw him last. She was his protege,
Who was?
Magpie.
Magpie. Matt came to Thieves to speak with me that day. Were you there? Was that you?
I don't think I was there. I think I had planned to come or something.
I was trying to figure out who it was.
I think Magpie might have been there.
Okay. He brought himself and like 4 or 5 other people, and I was trying to figure out exactly who it was. So I'd never seen him before ever.
Yeah, I think Magpie and fuck, it was so long ago I can't remember. Maybe it could have been Whisper and a couple others, but and then there was this lady from his old outfit. What was her name? Aria, maybe?
Ariel.
Ariel, yeah.
If Ariel was there that day, I would have known.
Okay. Well, maybe she wasn't. I know she did start coming around for a little bit, and then she kind of just stopped. But like I said, if I get any further information on his whereabouts or well-being or anything like that, I'll be the first to know.
Appreciate it. I do. Thank you for coming all the way out here, by the way. Honestly, didn't expect to hear back from you, at least till I guess tomorrow, next day, because it's late.
Yeah, I've been up at these late hours because August is usually waking up about now. Some days, so I wake up, spend time with her. But and I was at Paxton's burial earlier. I was having some head issues. I had to lay my head at Rude Riggs. Did Rudy ever show up?
Yeah, he did at the end.
That's good. But yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, I'll keep you in the loop as soon as I get word of anything.
Thank you. I gotta lie to you, I can't say that's gonna be the nicest conversation.
Now I can imagine.
Do you know the history?
Bits and bobs.
You want the full story with no bullshit.
You guys were together, weren't you?
Outfit? We were in an outfit, yes. Myself, Matt, Eli, Ariel, JoJo, little Jimothy. It was a long time ago. But the way that I understood it was Jimothy, before he ever split off and decided he was going to do his own thing, he was part of Dead End. Long time ago when they were a bunch of kids. He was sent to the army. He served. And when he came back, I know that he wasn't the same person. I know that he was damaged. I know that he's thought a certain way and that he wanted to surround himself with other people who understood him. Because anybody that he knew before he went to the military quite got him. He felt displaced, right? So he separated himself, and so he decided he was going to do his own thing. I remember those days back outside of Rhodes, little camp outside the swamps, outside of Rhodes, swamps. We called, what the hell did we call it? Boondocks. It's the Boondocks. There's a lot of tension back then between himself and Wallaby and Edwin, Renee, all of them. Because he wanted to split off and do his own thing. And that was the start of it, right? So he got a bunch of folks together, myself, Eli, Matt, JoJo, Ariel. We started our own little outfit out there. We eventually moved to, I think, outside of, tall trees outside of Big Valley. Dead End Camp. We called it Little Valley. I think
Oh,
JoJo had
Rude Ridge, or what
Little
is?
Valley. Yeah.
Okay, I just had several names.
To be fair, we lived there first.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think JoJo ended up having an altercation with Wallaby and Valentine. I think that's what started it all. They got in an argument. I think it was a man by the name of Sonny. I don't know if you've ever met him.
Sunny Falls,
It plays the trumpet, weird little fella.
little blonde kid.
Yep.
Yeah, I know him.
He beat the ever living hell out of her with a trumpet, I think. Outside of the medical office in Valentine, when Wallaby was there. And that kick-started everything. So, this is back whenever Wallaby was at the slaughterhouse, and we rode down to the slaughterhouse and we demanded an apology.
How did that go?
Wallaby wasn't willing to give an apology for what happened to JoJo and Valentine. Instead, guns were pulled and we shot them all down in that slaughterhouse. So Dead End Gang and Little Gang, we went at it for a good period of time, and it finally ended. It ended. Missy died. Eli was actually the one that did the best that he could to try and save her. And I know that Wallaby was thankful for it. I know he was. It ended with LJ in a coma. I think Wallaby was just about the same. And that was actually when LJ disappeared. He was in a coma, and then at some point in Saint Denis, he woke up and he walked out of the medical office. He went to Guarma and he tried to do something in Guarma and he tried to get everybody in Guarma, and then he ended up just disappearing after that. We didn't see him for months. You could say that everybody had pretty much moved on beyond that. I don't know if you were in Van Horn whenever LJ showed back up.
I wasn't there when he showed back up, but I did pass through there from time to time, and I think I helped them break Wallaby out of a transport once. LJ was there with us.
Yeah. Not like a ghost when he shows back up out of nowhere. And he's in Van Horn. And history has this way of repeating itself, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because
it
the
sure
whole
seems so.
reason, the whole reason why Edwin died, the way that I understood it, LJ was in Van Horn, and then he made a decision that that's not where he wanted to be. That he wanted to go and do his own thing. And that's what caused the problem between himself and Edwin and Strawberry, and that's what ended up LJ shot him dead. Because Edwin didn't want to let him go. That's the way I always understood it. So, if you know the history, then you know that Matt had spent most of his time, actually, both JoJo and LJ, or not LJ, Eli. JoJo, Eli, and Matt had spent most of their time in Van Horn. I was the only one that decided I was not going to stay there. They were content, actually, with making amends and trying to create business, but I moved to Thebes. Where I'd spend most of my time with the bastards.
That is one hell of a history lesson.
It's not over. So, LJ shoots down Edwin, old friend for old history. Same shit. An inability to let go. Edwin didn't want to see LJ walk away again, or at least that's the way that I understood it. Shot him dead in Strawberry. Matt made a promise that we were family. All of us, everybody, little gang rat. He met us up at a cabin. 3 sisters outside Emerald Station. Actually, it was LJ and it was JoJo. I was there only because I was not in really a position to do very much of anything. I was in a coma actually before that. And that had everything to do with a different war hall entirely. getting stabbed because of Zip. He shows up there a couple days after I'd woken up. Him, JoJo, and then Matt shows up. That was, I think, first time that I had spoken with LJ since. Well, I mean, I laid into him. I really let him have it. But when everything was said and done, and we decided that we were going to try to figure out as a group what we were going to do, I was about to go to bed. Heard hooves. It was Pete, Scout, Dakota. They tried to grab LJ. JoJo wouldn't let him. Guns were pulled. I didn't have a gun at the time. I just know outside the door shots were fired. I know Scout actually hit me upside the head. I don't remember what happened after that besides the Ansberg medical office. I found out then that JoJo was dead. Found out later from somebody else that LJ had been buried. Boondocks. That Matt was the one that did it, but he didn't even have the balls to tell me himself. So yeah, you could say that there's a lot of history there. Never mind what happened with Eli. It was a duel, though. They both agreed to it. The only reason why that happened was because Wallaby decided he was going to grab me from thieves. It was when I was riding close with the bastards.
Take in.
What was that?
That's a lot to take in.
There's a lot of history a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Well, I would at least want to be honest if I'm going to ask questions about somebody. I don't want to be dishonest about why I want to try to find somebody.
I remember when he told me he had a gun of yours that he needed to return. He was fully prepared to die just to give you that gun.
I think he's lucky he gave it to me unloaded.
I miss him. I do. He's a good leader.
Hope you know that's not a shared sentiment.
I understand.
Like I said, I don't really believe in deceptions. How you see him, if you happen to. You tell him I'm looking for him.
Can do.
That's it. That's all I wanted.
As soon as I hear something, I'll let you know. More whiskey. I'll be right back. Ay. Ay caramba. Dude.